Welcome to episode 305 of the Working Fans Podcast. It's been a couple weeks that we've been here, but we brought you some great Outcast Wrestling Revolution interviews. And please, if you enjoy what you're watching, hit that subscribe button. A lot of people that watch us aren't subscribed, and it would mean the world to us if you did. And chances are we are not going to be here next week because this weekend we are going to get your ass kicked. It's an event put on by Outcast Wrestling Revolution. The show is tomorrow night. Doors open at 6 p.m. Bell time is at 7. It's taking place at Ledyard Middle School. $30 VIP tickets, $20 general admission, $15 kid and veterans tickets, I believe. I didn't check that. I should have before I read this. And kids 7 and under are free. So please come on out, enjoy a show, and we'll be there as well. How could it get any better? Dave, let's run down this card real quick because since we've become familiar with Outcast Wrestling Revolution, they've got some great wrestlers on their shows. And just look at this main event, 5150. One of those dark, like very eerie wrestlers that they brought in. Love it. Taking on the very famous, you may know him by other names, but he goes by the Soul Taker, special referee Lou Jacobs. I'm excited for this main event. This is big, bringing in an outside name versus 5150. We know 5150 can go in the ring. This is going to be a good one.
Yeah, that should be good. That could be a brawl that goes all around the school.
Yes, and the other main event, they've got a dual main event going on here. C-Rex versus Layla James for, and I'm excited, Dave, NWA Texas Dog Pound Women's Championship. I have not yet researched this, but I believe it's got to be tied to Jazz and Rodney Mack's school. So, I mean, anytime an NWA championship is on the card, no matter where it falls in the family tree, I'm very excited for that.
Absolutely. I hear the name NWA. I think tradition and I think prestige. Happy to be a part of this. Very excited.
100%. A tag team we haven't seen in a while, Buff Inc. If anybody here ever went to the old XWA shows in Rhode Island, Buff Inc. was a great team that they had there versus the Asylum in a non-title grudge match because Buff Inc. are the tag team champions of Outcast Wrestling Revolution. And then we got Jeremy McGrath versus Peter Gianni for the I-91 championship. Another championship on the card here. That's the second one. Anytime a championship's on the line, how could it not be exciting? Am I right?
91, baby. Maybe we're going to go all over Interstate 91. Here we go, baby.
And then another interesting match. I sound like a broken record, but literally every match on this card, I'm like, I can't wait to see this. I'm excited for this. Hudson Envy versus LMK in round 1 of a tournament for the Provisional State Women's Championship. We've seen LMK on ROH, on Beyond Wrestling. Great wrestler, and I can't wait to see if she's moving on to the second round.
Little Mean Kathleen, baby. Little Mean Kathleen.
100%. And the other two matches on this card, Alan Compass versus Shadow Man and Ken Powers versus Mr. James. So that's 7 matches on the card. Bell time is at 7 p.m. tomorrow. Get there early at 6 p.m. Get some food. Come visit your friends in the Working Fans Podcast. And if you're not going to be at this show, there is more than enough on TV to keep your attention. And we're going to start right at the top because I feel like this is, between this and All In, this probably has the most notoriety, the most star power, but the return of Goldberg, supposedly his final match. Let's make some predictions on this card and see how right we are.
All right, let's work opposite here. Let's start off with the main event because I feel like that is the big attraction here. Bill Goldberg versus Gunther, heavyweight championship. I don't see Gunther losing this. I mean, you never know. It's in Georgia, right? Bill's last match, but man, I just feel like Gunther's the man here. This is not going to be his time to lose it. Too much wrestling for one weekend. Okay, you might be right. But That's all right.
For us
We're
in
gonna
the
make it.
podcast game, can it ever be enough? This is another 5-6 segments next week, and a lot of good shows. But back to the matter at hand, like you were
Yeah.
saying, I don't see Gunther losing it. I mean, maybe Goldberg wins. Maybe there's a cash in of some kind. I don't know. But really, it makes the most sense for Gunther to retain that title. I think the real question is, what kind of match are we going to see? Are we going to see a longer match like he promised? Or will it be short and sweet like a Goldberg match arguably could
You
be?
know what, though? That would be something. It's funny you said a cash in. That would be a way to get around this. You could have Goldberg win his last match at Georgia, walk out champion, and then he could lose it that night, or he could lose it on Raw, giving a speech, and Seth Rollins comes out and just takes the title off of him.
Yeah, interesting ways that could go.
Yeah. All right. Continue down the card. LA Knight versus Seth Rollins. Speaking of Mr. Money in the Bank, Seth is the guy that's getting the push. I'm going to go with an upset. I don't know why. I just feel like LA Knight's going to pull this off.
Ooh, that's interesting because Seth Rollins is in the faction. He does have the push. It feels like everything's behind him. This feels like a win though that LA Knight could get, and it wouldn't necessarily hurt Seth Rollins. You know what I mean? Since it's on this. It's tough because in my heart, I feel like Seth has to win, but I want LA Knight to win, so I'm gonna pick LA Knight.
All right. Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre back here. I feel like Drew's going to find a way to win here, and something's going to happen. There's going to be more to this story with Orton, who's going to start to become more angry after losing, and we might be getting towards a heel Orton sooner or later.
Yeah, it's going to be a good match. I tend to go towards Drew as well, since we've this is one where it's like I want Orton to win, but I have to pick Drew because that just feels like where it's going.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, final match: Solo Sikoa versus Jimmy Uso, United States Championship on the line. I don't think Solo's losing that title just yet, so I'm gonna go Solo. And what do you say?
This is interesting because I feel like whatever the outcome is of the main event affects the outcome of this match. Like if Gunther's retaining the title, I can see Jimmy stealing the title. If Goldberg's gonna leave with that title, I feel like Solo could retain. But if I pick Gunther in the main event, I got to pick Jimmy here. I think we're getting a title change.
Okay. All right. We shall find out. Saturday night's main event, 8:00, NBC and Peacock.
Nice little card there. And Dave, I know we talked on air about how we were going to do this, but let's stay on Saturday because one of my favorite shit, you probably have to find the card now. So
I got you.
Yeah, sorry, I ran an audible there, but there's something about the name Great American Bash that has me excited. Like it was I wouldn't say it was one of my favorite pay-per-views in WCW, but there were so many good ones. And then just add the fact that the Great American Bash is going on in Atlanta tomorrow. I didn't realize this card was at 2:30. Holy shit. How are we supposed to watch all this wrestling, WWE? Some of us have lives. Some of us have families.
You said that let's go to Saturday. We're not leaving Saturday because when we get to All In, that's Saturday too.
Yeah, that's Saturday night too.
It's not even night. You'll see in a moment.
It's the same time as this shit. Jesus. Well, we'll get to complaining about that. Let's look at this NXT card and see, should we watch NXT versus AEW? I think that's the real question that's going to be answered here.
All right, let's start off in reverse this time. Javon Evans versus Jasper. Jasper off that LFG show. He's a big, bad-looking guy with a lot of promise. I like him a lot. I love Javon, but I have a feeling we're going to try to give Jasper the rub here, and Jasper's walking out with a victory.
That makes complete sense. But he's bouncy. How do you go against somebody that's bouncy? I really like Javon. I don't know if right now is the time to beat him, because he's been on such that upswing. But this guy coming off LFG Jasper, they're gonna want to make him a centerpiece. I'm gonna go Javon just out of loyalty, but I can see Jasper winning it.
Ethan Page, Ricky Saints, excuse me. Falls Count Anywhere, NXT North American title. I think Page retains, finds a way. Probably would help from the Vanity Project.
I heard there was a good match. Ricky Saints wrestled all of the Vanity Project in a gauntlet match.
He did.
I have to go back and watch that, but I got to pick Ricky in this sense. I think he's going to get the win. I think this could be match of the night.
All right, Sol Ruka versus Izzy Dame. She's defending her North American Women's Championship. I believe we're going to find out later, but I believe Sol and Zarya are both going to be in that women's tag team title match the following night. So I'm going to say they need momentum, and Sol will get the win.
Yes, I can't see Sol losing this championship just yet. Maybe, no offense to Izzy Dane, but I could see it against a bigger name. But I don't know if Izzy's going to be the one to take that championship offer. I haven't watched NXT in a while, to be fair. So Izzy might be better than I'm expecting. And I'm just going with who I enjoy. But Sol is out of hand in that ring. That Soul Snatcher is a great move.
Jordan Grace and Blake Monroe versus Fatal Influence, Lacey Jane and Fallon Henley with Jasmine Nix in their corner. I'm going to go with Fatal Influence here because I think that Jordan is going to win that North American. I'm sorry, she's going to win the NXT Women's Championship the following night at Evolution. So I think that she's going to lose here, and I think it's going to be because there's going to be some kind of miscommunication with Blake Monroe, who has been discussed internally. Rumors are of being heel. So I think something's going to happen here.
Ooh, that's interesting. See, in my head, I thought there's no way that Blake Monroe can lose on that first match. I'm going to go with Blake Monroe and Jordan Grace, but your explanation almost swayed me there.
Main event. Obafemi defends the NXT Championship against Inamura with Josh Briggs. Inamura, they had a great segment here this week where a lot of wrestlers were wishing him luck, including a lot of wrestlers from Pro Wrestling Noah, including the great Muda who was on there this week.
I heard about that. That's crazy.
So it gets me excited. I just don't think we'll see it yet, though. I got to go Obafemi.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good match, but that Oba's not losing to this guy. No offense.
No offense. All right, that's our card.
All right, that's 2 out of 4 events this week, and 2 out of 5 if you're including Outcast Wrestling Revolution, which you should be. And Saturday, not too long after this starts, AEW All In Texas. I got to admit, Dave, I was listening to a recap of the recent Dynamite, and they covered this card, and there's a lot of good matches on this card. I'm very tempted to get this event.
No, this should be a good show. Look at the pre-show here. FTR on the pre-show versus the Outrunners. I got to go FTR in that. I think we're going to have to be a little more rapid on some of these. We'll do the pre-show at least anyway. What do you think? FTR?
I'm going to say FTR as well. That should be on the main show, if even kicking off the main show.
We got another big pre-show match here. The Big Boom AJ and the Conglomeration. Who's part of the okay, so it's Big Boom AJ, the Conglomeration, and that'll consist of Hologram, Kyle O'Reilly, and Ishii. And they're going to take on the Don Callis family.
Don Callis family wins.
Lance Archer, Rocky Romero, Trent Beretta, and Lucha Libre star here. Herenico? Check him out. Anyway.
Are you excited for another Big Boom AJ match? They're really sticking with this guy on their pre-shows.
Yeah, I bet you they add one more pre-show match too. But anyway, all right. Let's get to this main
Dave doesn't
card.
give a fuck about Big Boom AJ. He's like, give him that chocolate chunk cookie.
We got time. We don't got time for this. Time with Toni Storm. All she has is time. Versus Mercedes Moné. All right, this is for the AEW Women's Championship. Don't forget Mercedes Moné. She has like the Rev Pro Championship, a CML Championship. I think she's got a New Japan Strong Women's Championship.
She's doing that belt collecting.
She's the TV. Yeah, she's doing the Ultimo Dragon right now. I say she gets us. I'll say she gets it. I'll say one more for Mercedes Moné, and she's going to capture this, and she's going to continue to be this belt collector until someone eventually takes these belts off her.
If she did not have the belt collector thing going on, I would say 100% Toni Storm would get the win.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, Tony Khan likes the belt collector thing. Mercedes has been doing good from what I've heard as of late in AEW.
Yeah.
So I think I very hesitantly say Mercedes gets the win. I would like Tony to win.
I realize this card is being listed as the main events first, so I'm going to work backwards now. The Ops, Samoa Joe, Powerhouse Hobbs, Shibata defend the AEW Trios title against the Death Riders, Claudio, Real Yuta, and Gabe Kidd. That's interesting.
Ooh,
I'm going to go to Ops, though.
That is an interesting team put together by the Death Riders. I heard Gabe Kidd might be included.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is going to be a great match, but I'm not going to waste our time. The Ops.
All right. The Hurt Syndicate, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin defend the tag titles against Jet Speed, Kevin Knight, and Speedball Mike Bailey, and the Patriarchy, Christian Cage and Nick Wayne. So it's a three-way. Wayne and Cage, by the way, did attack Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin. And strictly, they attacked Bobby Lashley's knee going into this with chairs. So interesting match here. I'm going to say the Hurt Syndicate still find a way to win, though.
Oh, wow. Well, for anybody that's interested in those deep cuts, I feel like the Patriarchy is going to pull a Mike Faison in this match and swoop in and get that championship win. Check out New Heights Wrestling on New Heights Wrestling YouTube page. Shout out.
Adam Cole versus Kyle Fletcher, AEW TNT Championship. I say we have a new champion, Kyle Fletcher.
I could see that too. I feel bad because ever since Adam Cole has had that championship, it's been like a whole lot of nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Kyle Fletcher is going to bring some prominence to this belt.
Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay versus the Young Bucks. It is interesting.
I can't wait for this one.
If Ospreay and Strickland lose, they cannot challenge the AEW World Championship for 1 year. If the Bucks lose, they will be stripped of their EVP titles. I'm going to say the Bucks find a way to win. And I say that because I think next year Ospreay will challenge for the AEW World Championship at All In, probably in England or something. So
I was going to say I hate them doing the Cody thing. At least it's not like not getting the title forever.
Right.
But in all fairness, I listened to Post Wrestling and they mentioned All In next year in England, and I'm like, ooh, that would be a handy time for Will Ospreay to not to not pursue the championship over a year. So yeah, I'm gonna give it to the Bucks.
All right, women's gauntlet match, AEW Casino Battle Royal here. I don't have a list of the participants, so I'll just tell you. Gun to my head, Chris Statlander will win this because she seems like she's been on a mission to prove herself.
I'm gonna go with the Megasis Megan Bain. I believe she's in it, and
she is.
Yeah, that's got to be my pick then.
All right, men's casino gauntlet match for the AEW Women World Championship. I know MJF and Mark Briscoe are kicking it off. I know Mystico's in it. I don't know who's going to win, but after MJF talked trash on Mark Briscoe, Jay Briscoe as well, Mark had an interesting comment where he said, win or lose, I got to whip his ass. I think Mark is going to cost MJF from winning here, but I don't think Mark wins this either. So I'm not sure who's going to win this. I don't know everybody that's in it. So not knowing everybody who's in it, I'm just going to say Samoa Joe. Who might not even be in this.
Oh, wow. I'm going Mark Briscoe.
Mark Briscoe to win it all. Okay. All right. Here's a big one. Winner takes all match to unify the AEW Continental Champion and the AEW International Championship into the inaugural AEW Unified Championship. All that. All right. Bottom line is, though, we're getting Okada versus Omega. I got Okada.
Wow. I'm thinking this is Omega's time.
All right. And then finally, the AEW World Championship Texas Death Match. Jon Moxley versus Adam Hangman Page. Hangman Page, baby. He's the star of the show. He's got this.
I would love for it to be Hangman Page, but I don't think we're going to get that lucky. I think this Moxley championship is going to continue on for another event.
All right. Let's get to it. So let's get to Sunday.
Yeah, we have all the Saturday events down, but Sunday night, it is ladies' night, the second Evolution pay-per-view. We have been talking about this for a while because it was rumored for a while to be at the Mohegan Sun Arena. Instead, they said no Hegan Sun, and they took their bag and went home to Atlanta. And we talk a lot about like what companies have like a good women's roster. And for a while, we've said it's NXT. That falls under the WWE umbrella. Let's get to these matches because there's a wealth of talent from various areas on this show.
All right, let's start off with the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Becky Lynch versus Bayley versus Lyra Valkyria. They've done a really good job of building up heat with all three competitors. Bayley and Lyra have been kind of at each other's throats now. They both want Becky. I think this is a classic thing where Bayley and Lyra are going to take each other out. Becky will find a way to sneak a win, and she will retain the Women's Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Becky Lynch as well.
Jade Cargill versus Naomi in a no-holds-barred match. I got Jade. I believe Jade's from the Atlanta area as well. This is in Atlanta. I think this will be a big homecoming win for her. Jade's got a shot at SummerSlam for the women's title. I think she's going to want that momentum. Naomi has that briefcase. She can always cash it in down the road.
I'm going to pick Jade, but I believe she is from Florida.
Okay. Well,
either way, same general area, Atlanta. You can travel up for it.
I saw something online about her being around Atlanta. But anyway.
Oh, shit. I could be wrong. I didn't research shit.
Okay. But I can't remember the source, so we'll see. Tiffany Stratton versus Trish Stratus, WWE Women's Champion. Great to see Trish back in an event like this, but she's not coming back just to take this title off of Tiffany. It's Tiffy time.
Yeah, no, Tiffany's not losing it here.
All right, Battle Royal for the World Championship match at Clash in Paris. I don't know all the competitors, but I know this. Stephanie Vaquer is going to be in this, and I think she's been on fire lately, and I think this is her time.
Yeah, man, I like it. Stephanie Vaquer.
Judgment Day, Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez defend the women's tag titles against Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, So Ruka and Zarya, and the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kylie Sane. I'm going to go Asuka and Sane.
Yeah, I want Soul Ruka and Zarya to win this, but Kabuki Warriors all the way.
JC Jane defends her NXT championship against Jordynne Grace. I got Jordynne Grace.
Yeah, I think this is Jordan's time. If I could be wrong, I believe Jordan is either from Georgia, Atlanta, or lives down there because that's where Jonathan Gresham's from. But either way, JC Jane is the champion. Perfect person for Jordan to finally take that title off. It's Jordynne Grace's time.
Final match. Women's World Champion Io Sky defends against Rhea Ripley. They've made it a point to talk about that Ripley has not been able to beat Io Sky in big matches or big singles matches. She's going to get that monkey off her back. Rhea gets it done here. New women's champion. We're going to see a few champions crowned tonight.
Oh, yeah. Rhea is definitely winning that.
And there you go. That's our Evolution picks.
Wow, that went by quick. And it was another great episode this week. A lot of wrestling to talk. Yeah. If we don't get back next week, we'll get back the week after to talk about this. But if you enjoy what you saw, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We put so much into these episodes, and we put so much into these sponsors. Author Ray Lopez presents Lockup, professional wrestling in our world. Lockup dives headfirst into the colorful world of professional wrestling. Explore the iconic characters, careers, matches, history, and families, and delve into the bizarre and fascinating entwining of professional wrestling and film, television, football, politics, gender, and race. Pre-orders are available now on Amazon.com or at MascotBooks.com. This is the perfect gift for the wrestling fan in your life. Pick up a copy today on Amazon.com or at MascotBooks.com.
Hey, all you got your wrestling fans up there, listen, old black Bart has got a book. It's called Wrestle. Like that. It's got some dead good stories in there about some dead good wrestlers.
Read stories of Dusty Rhodes, the Von Erich, Scott Casey, Sergeant Slaughter, Roddy Piper, Mr. Fuji, Ron Bass, Bruiser Brody, Mike Davis, the Grappler, and many others.
And I guarantee you one thing, that it'll be the best dadgum read you've had in a long time.
Get your book today at Russellville.com or on Amazon. Russellville, it's where wrestling lives.
Hey fans, it's the man they call Dave with producer Joe. And you probably know us as the commentary team for New Heights Pro Wrestling. But when we're not doing that, we got a podcast.
That is the Working Fans Podcast, where we talk pro wrestling, comedy, MMA, and so much more.
And tell them about that signature segment.
Oh, you talk about the 531?
You know I am.
That is a homegrown creation that has been our namesake. And if you want to know our namesake, we got Chevy, AJ Strange Brew, as well as the two of us.
And why don't you go to our channel, like, subscribe, show us some love.
Rate, review, all of it.
Read about the Northern Wrestling Federation in the book presented by Russellville.com, The Pro Wrestling Vault, Volume 2. Hear the story of Roger Ruffin, the man who trained Carl Anderson, the Monster Abyss, Jordan Clearwater, Chris Harris, and Jillian Hall.
Plus 45 other short stories including Jazz, Bobby Eaton, Kamala, Thunder Rosa, Mario Mancini, Scott Casey, PJ Black, Kerry Morton, Sal Renaro, Jeremiah Plunkett, Colby Carino, Bam Bam Malone, and many others.
Get your book today at Russellville.com. Russellville, it's where wrestling lives.